What's up, J Fusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another video. Now, it just so happens that Kamen Rider Zero One Real Time is coming up, and there's been something on my mind that's been going on recently, and I wanted to share with you guys in this video. If you probably haven't noticed the uh, title and the thumbnail already, so Yua deserves better. Now, I do believe there's something that could have been done in the show, but again, I've said this many times already, but even so, I don't want to blame everything on the pandemic that's been going on. But you know, uh, consider this, right? So we have our first female writer for the Reiwa era, but it doesn't feel like she got the attention that she should have had. Now, where am I going with this? So, yes, we've gotten a female writer very early on in the show. She is considered as the tertiary writer, like, she should have been given some sort of like very high importance. Of course, not as much as our main character, probably not even on the same level as the secondary writer, but tertiary writers have, in a way become important. Let's say, for example, Kamen Rider Grease. For the most part, for most of his appearances in Kamen Rider Build, well, he fought as is, just the Kamen Rider Grease that he had with the Splash Driver, and the only time he got a power up, well, technically it only lasted for 2 episodes, but still it resulted in him, well, dying. But nonetheless, when a movie came out, I believe it was direct to video, but yeah, eventually he did get a decent power up that is considerably much more powerful than his other previous forms. So, going back to Yua, she didn't have much in terms of forms in the show. Like, sure, maybe Isamu didn't have a lot as well, but I mean, considering all the power ups that he had, I mean, he got the Gorilla Progrise Key. He did get the Assault Wolf, the Rampaging Wolf eventually, and then he even got a special form thanks to Naki's Japanese Wolf Progrise Key. Or actually, it was Zetsume Rise Key, but yeah, uh, you see the point there. So, Isamu at least had 4 forms. Now, as Kamen Rider Valkyrie, Yua only had 2. Only 2. We could consider the Fighting Jackal as her power up form, but technically it wasn't a Kamen Rider form. It was a Raid Riser form, but nonetheless, it really wasn't integrated into Kamen Rider Valkyrie. So, well, there have been other Kamen Riders who had power up forms that were technically not Kamen Rider. A great example would be Kamen Rider Baron, whose final form was actually turning into an Invest himself. Actually, he became an Overlord, but yeah, his monster form became his technical power up. So that's an example for you guys right there. But yeah, surely it wasn't a monster form or anything, but nonetheless, it wasn't a Kamen Rider power up at all. I mean, sure, by the stats of the Fighting Jackal, it's significantly more powerful than either Rushing Cheetah or Lightning Hornet. But nonetheless, yeah, like a lot of people have been thinking. I've seen comments on Facebook in some groups that you know, Yua could have actually used the Progreski, the fighting jackal. Actually, Zetsume Raisi, but anyway, so she could have used the fighting jackal and then put it into the shot riser, and probably would have had some sort of power up that is similar to, uh, I would say, Isamu's special uh, uh, wolf form. I forgot what it is, but yeah, so that special form that Isamu got by using Naki's Zetsume Raisuki. So I thought Yua could have gotten a similar form just like that. So imagine like something that looks like a salt wolf but has a jackal head. She probably would have kept the scythe as well. But the reason why Yua did not choose to integrate that into her shot riser is that, you know, fighting Jackal represented Yua in her worst. You know, it's something that she did not want to do. You could see it in her face. She felt conflicted every time she had to fight, especially Isamu, who she had been working very closely with all this time. They were basically partners during their time in Ames together, and she definitely was hesitating, you know, every time she fought Isamu. Well, also probably Haruto. Like she eventually saw that uh, he can, potentially bridge the gap between Humagears and humans. He probably hasn't noticed, or maybe Yua herself hasn't noticed, but Aruto also changed her in a way. When we initially met Yua, she only thought of Humagears as nothing more than tools, but eventually, when she got back to her senses and resigned from Zaya with an epic punch to Guy's face, which was very epic in my opinion, you know, it was then Yua realized that Humagears can be something more. And she also started thinking that they deserve uh, to be treated just like humans. So, you would think that at this point, she would get some sort of power up, but no. I mean, she is the engineer of Ames. Well, she eventually became the captain, like full time onto the combat scene. But you know, prior to that, she was a technological engineer, and she developed a lot of weapons for Ames. I mean, basically, the Shot Riser is her creation. If, of course, given all that funding and resources by Zaya, but nonetheless, Yua herself created the rider form that she uses. So, you know, again, in that regard, she could have used the fighting jackal to provide a new form for Kamen Rider Valkyrie. But as I've mentioned earlier, the fighting jackal is a representation of the things that Yua came to hate about herself. That's the point. So, what I would like to see, probably not in the movie because it's definitely going to focus on Aruto a lot. I really think that Yua at least deserves her own spin-off DVD, like her own full-length version spin-off DVD at least, like a direct to DVD, a V Cinema, where I mean, like just like Kamen Rider Grease's own side story. So I do believe that Yua deserves at least that, given all that she's contributed in the show. Again, like it would have, like she was given a lot of hype, given that again she is the first female Kamen Rider in the Reiwa period. She appeared very early on, so yeah, I do think it's time that Toei give her that importance because I really thought there was wasted potential. Sure, power ups may be, not as important, but definitely in the later parts of Kamen Rider Zero One, she was far outclassed. Like when she went back to being Kamen Rider Valkyrie after, after that fighting Jackal shtick, yeah, she was definitely outclassed by her, you know, uh, peers. She was outclassed by Isamu, let alone Aruto, right? So, you know, we gotta think, if you're already making a female character important, do give her what she deserves. That's basically my opinion. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys agree to what I'm saying. So, but either way, there are actually some of you who disagree that Yua does not deserve any other power up. Like she is a proficient fighter, so she would have known how to fight even just using her regular rushing cheetah or using the lightning hornet. But nonetheless, if you have a different opinion, please do feel free to share it. So, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, share this video, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you guys get the latest from JE Fusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.